Hello and welcome on 360 Sports on Trust TV. I am Adeni Ajishafe. Well, time to celebrate for Senegalese right now because they've qualified for the final of AFCON. They have faced the winner between Cameroon and Egypt. Good one for Senegalese, the Teranga Lions. They were able to roar against the Stallions. Good one for them. And joining me in the studio is Ibrahim Yusuf. Good to have you.
Always good to be here.
Good. Now, okay, you look like Senegalese.
I was Chinese before I became Cameroonian. Now I'm Senegalese.
You'll be supporting this year. All the things you'll be supporting, they'll be both of the competition. Well, welcoming you on the show, 360 Sport on Trust TV. Well, good one for Senegalese Teranga Lions. They roared very, very loud against Stallions, winning that game. 3-1 there. It wasn't just 1, 2, 3 goals they scored. You have to give it up to scorers, the likes of Mane, Idrissa Gueye and Abdou Diallo. They did well scoring against, despite the fact that Beati Toure scored in the 82nd minute. It was not good enough as they considered three goals coming from Teranga Lions.
Well, actually, what impressed me most is actually the performance of the Burkinabe. They actually tried to stifle the Senegalese. You can see that the goal started coming in the 70th minute. And despite them losing their goalkeeper in the earlier stages of the match, I mean, like, they didn't destabilize them. They still kept on. And they were in the game, well in the game, even after the first goal, you understand, because they stifled a lot of their attacks and they made life difficult for them. Even though the Senegalese, dominated possession, and they were not able to come good until it was in the latter stages. So actually they gave a very good account of themselves. And of course on paper we can all see that Senegal on paper was the better side. You know, they played better and at the end of the day they got the result. So it's a deserved march to the final.
And when you look at the performance, although before this particular game a lot of people tipped, in fact you can rate to be like 17 against 30, Burkina Faso, Senegal, 70% tilting towards Senegal that they are going to win, and they did in style. And the fear that maybe Sadio Mane wouldn't be able to perform due to what happened in the other match where he had to be resuscitated back to life. But the good thing is that it seems Mane right now is becoming captain fantastic, as he has been leading all the team, all the matches they play, each match they play, they keep pushing, and now nobody really, even though despite the fact that they are being rated as #1 in Africa, but throughout the tournament, they were not given that particular record that this is the best team. It has been Algeria, Egypt, Cameroon, all that.
Exactly.
But they surprised everyone by playing each game per time.
You know, they started the tournament quite slowly. You understand? So they sort of like sneaked in because people were not really paying attention to Senegal. After their first match, everybody wrote them off, that they were not the Senegal that we thought they were going to be. You know, so everybody wrote them off and nobody was paying attention to them. By the time everybody realized they're actually in the semi-finals. And just like you said, their performance kept on improving throughout the tournament. They kept on getting better and better and better. And of course, you can tie that to the performances of Mane because he's been unplayable in some matches, you understand, because he has upped his game in every single match and he's really leading from the front. There's always this fear that once you have superstars like that in a team, that when they come to tournaments like the AFCON, they won't want to exert themselves because they know they have to go back to Europe and then finish up the season because they're afraid of getting injured, they're afraid of exhaustion and all that. But he has proven that he is actually a professional and he takes the national team very seriously.
And I love the fact that Mane seems to be the quiet type, as in the way he has been able to at least lead the team, Senegalese Teranga Lions. Also, almost the same way Salah has been doing Egypt quietly. They're moving, hoping, and they're working really well.
Exactly, because you know they managed to stay under the radar. Just like I said, it's the same thing with Egypt. When Nigeria beat them in the first match, everybody was like, Egypt are not going anywhere. You know, but gradually they kept on upping their game, taking it one game at a time. You understand, getting the wins, and now they're in the semi-finals, and they have a very good chance of getting to the final as well.
We've been looking at Senegal versus Burkina Faso as they were able to win that game. They are a good one for Teranga Lions. They are celebrating, waiting for the winner between Egypt and Cameroon. That will be coming up today. Well, big one there for Senegalese. Before this tournament, they were not really rated, despite being ranked #1 in Africa. Quietly, they came for AFCON, and now they've gotten to the final of the competition. Looking at Teranga Lions. Good one for them. Now we go straight back to coming to Nigerian Professional Football League. Matches were played on the midweek matches, match day 10. Let's look at the result. 20 goals were scored in the NPFL match day 10 midweek matches. Katsina United, they pipped Sunshine Stars by a lone goal. Lobby Stars at Upper Aku Stadium in Makurdi drew 1-0 draw against Niger Tornadoes. In North Central Derby, Aqua United also 1-0 draw against Kwara United. And you have to look at Shooting Stars. 4-0 against Heartland. Although I was expecting that, considering what's happening to Heartland, where the players have not been paid. What do you expect? 4-0 there. Good one for Eddie Zagoye and his boys. Kano Pillars against Raymond Stars. Raymond Stars again, drawing away to Kano. A lot of people will not expect that to happen with the boisterous supporters for the Kano Stadium. For them to have gotten 0-0 there, that's fantastic for Raymond Stars. 2-1, Rivers United, they won against Dakada. They did well there, winning at home over there in Port Harcourt. 2-1 against Dakada in the Southern Derby. Enugu Rangers, surprisingly, they were shocked by Plateau United. And you have Abia Warriors winning 3-0 against Wiki Tourists of Bauchi. Nasarawa United, they came from behind to dislodge Finidi Joy and his boys 2-1. Chairman Su Muhammad was sung there also. And Gombe, although that match will be coming out today between Gombe and MFM.
Well, when you look at these results, I mean, like, two results actually stand out. You know, Shooting Stars, Heartland, just like you talked about. I think it's not mostly a statement win for Shooting Stars, but a statement by the Heartland players. You understand? If you don't pay us, we won't perform, and that's why they got absolutely decimated. And then Plateau United winning away. You know, it was unheard of in some quarters at some years back that a team can actually go away and win. That is why I find this particular season of the NPFL to be quite exciting, because we've had quite a lot of away wins, a lot of away draws, just like you talked about Raymond Stars going to Kano Pillars and getting a goalless draw. You understand? Because, you know, it's unheard of. You go to Seymour Sigida's house and you come out unscathed.
I see, in fact, so far they are yet to lose a match this season. 10 matches, no loss.
Rainbow Stars are the surprise package of this season. Before the season started, nobody gave them a chance. You understand? But right now they're racking up the points. They're steadily there. They're keeping up the performances. And I mean, going to Kano, getting a goalless draw. You know, that means they kept a clean sheet in Kano against Kano Pillars. That is something that you should actually look at. So if people are not taking notice of Rainbow Stars, they should start taking them quite seriously right now, because they are quite making a statement as it is right now. At
least from 38 matches now, they've been able to, they held down 10. So remaining 28. So they should watch out for that team.
Exactly.
It seems they have one particular soap that you borrowed.
Yeah, maybe they should cut soap for some of the of the teams that are really
maybe they got the handout from Kelechi Anacho. Who knows? Well, just throwing some banters there. We quickly move to the table as we look at the table for the match day 10, the midweek matches coming up that came up in the NPFL. Rivers United now are leading with 2 points because Raymond Stars dropped point despite having to play a draw against Kano Pillars over there in Kano. Now they have 22 points. That's Rivers United winning their game in Port Harcourt. You have Plateau United, surprisingly, they did well against Rangers, defeating them at home. That was a good run from Plateau United. And now they have 18 points from 10 matches. Rangers are now, they've been dropped from 3rd to 4th with 16 points. Eyimba losing to Nasarawa United at home in Lafayette. That has gotten them now to 5th position. Shooting Stars, surprisingly, they won their game 4-0. Before this game, although they won against Kwara, but before Kwara match, they struggled. Now they are back to 6th position, making statement that they used to make then that 3SC Shooting Stars, they call them upsuiting. Upsuiting. See, looking at the table as it stands, we just have to look at Aqua United, defending champion, are 7th on the log. Kwara United 8th, and you look at that pecking order down to 10th position is Nasarawa United with 15 points from 6th to 10. 15 points. And if you look at from 11 to 15, Kano Pillars with 14 points, Sunshine Stars, Lobby Stars, Habia Warriors, Katsina United, you look at that, it's still very, very close between 15 to 13.
Even actually, when you look at it from 3rd to 15th, it's just 8 points. That's what separates these teams. So that's why you'll see that there's going to be a lot of movement within the next 2-3 match weeks, you understand? So it's quite congested. So it's anybody's game at the moment. You know, a few weeks back we were complaining about Shooting Stars. You know, how they were languishing at the bottom of the table and it was not the shooting that we knew before. And now look at where they are. You know, they're in the 6th position. So between 3rd and 15th, you have like 8 points. So the points matter now. You know, any point dropped can make a difference. Remo Stars just dropped points. They came down from 1st to 2nd, and now, so you see how the difference actually is. So that's why all the points actually matter. You see what that win did for Plateau United, the away win that they got. Look
now they are third.
Now they are 3rd on the log. You understand? So 8 points separate 3rd and 15th. So it's really quite congested, and I think we are really in for a very exciting Nigerian Premier League this season.
And if you look at Heartland MFM, though MFM will be playing against Gombe United today, that match will be at Pantami Stadium in Gombe. Gombe versus MFM will be coming up. 6 points for MFM and Gombe 9 points. Just 3 points are driven the two. So MFM can spring up a surprise, get a draw, or who knows, maybe they can get a win just like Plateau United.
And the thing is, with a win, if you look at the table right now, with a win, they'll be on 9 points. So they'll be contesting with Gombe and Niger Tornadoes who are on the 16th and 17th, you understand, and will only be separated by goal difference. So that's how congested the table is. You know, 2 wins will get them out of this relegation zone and they'll be mid-table. So that's how congested it is, and that's why every point matters. It is going to be difficult for them going away, you know, but they might be able to pull something, because we never expected Plateau United to go to Enugu and get a result.
Let's see if Heartland will be able to get their acts together, since the news came out that the governor has approved 6 months payment out of the 9 months where they owe them. Maybe they will spur them to action by motivating them to perform better. That team is really wallowing under the weather of not performing well in the NPFL. Right now, they are standing 19th on the log, just ahead of MFM of Lagos. MFL will be facing Gombe United today. As we're talking NPFL, well, those are action pictures of NPFL, always scintillating to see when you see those players playing. I love the fact that they are showing their class. The big boys are beginning to come up in the NPFL.
Exactly. And that's the stuff of champions. You understand? They always find a way to make a difference, no matter what the situation is, no matter how bad it is. That's why I think places like Heartland, teams like Heartland right now will not wallow on the bottom of the table for a very long time, despite the internal challenges that they actually have. So sooner or later, I think the quality will come to the fore. Heartland has been there for quite some time. They've been doing a lot of things, just like we talked about. I keep coming back to Shooting Stars. You understand, because of the pedigree that they actually used to have. So that is coming back to the fore. And I think Heartland will not, once they sort out themselves internally, you know, because motivation plays a very, very big factor. I work for you, you don't pay me, then there's going to be a problem, you know, and it actually showed in their last match when they got walloped by Shooting. And so I think if they're able to get their acts together, motivate their players enough, Heartland will be able to do something worthwhile. I think I still reiterate, we're in for an exciting Premier League this season.
Good one there. Now let's go on a short break to enjoy some NPFL, at least let's get a glimpse of our footballers performing. Nasarawa versus Eyimba. This is for you. Nasarawa United versus Enyimba there. Good one. That match ended 2-1 in favor of the Solid Miners. They came from behind to win against Finidi George and the Unzobu Enyimba. That's a match that
People's Elephant.
People's Elephant.
Yeah.
They were leading, but Victor Obama scoring that goal for them. But they just have to, Nasarawa have to come from behind to show that, yes, we are not giving up on this.
Yes, actually, that's where the home advantage actually comes in, spurned by their crowd. I mean, like they were actually able to come to the fore, and that's what we like to see. We like to see that grit. We like to see that fighting spirit in teams. You know, that's what makes the difference.
Now, quickly, well, at least we've had some time with NPFL football there. Let's move away and talk about the Women League. Nigeria Women Football League, why the men were also playing. Some play before the men, why some play at the time the men were also playing. NWFL match day 7 result as it went down in different stadiums in Nigeria. Quickly, Nasarawa Amazon defeated Confluence Queens by 2-0. Pelican Stars 1-0. They pipped Nigeria Tels. So for the first time, Pelican Stars are winning this season, so they are celebrating. Oshun Babes also pipped Adamawa Queens by a lone goal. Rivers Angels 2-1 against Sunshine Queens. Royal Queens, they lost at home in Warri against FC Robo Queens of Lagos, as Delta Queens versus Abia Angels ended in a stalemate. For Nasarawa Amazon, Aweda Titilayo was scoring the 2 goals. That was a brace, a good one for them. Quickly, let's look at the table as it stands right now in the NWFL. Nasarawa Amazon, they've upstaged Edo Queens to top the table there with they have 15 points after playing 6 matches, even though it's match day 7. They have Nigeria Tels standing tall despite that loss against Pelican Stars. Confluence Queens, Oshun Babes, Adamawa Queens, and Pelican Stars winning the first match of the in the season. Now they have 3 points, trailing Adamawa Queens. And you look at the Group B, Rivers Angels. Now also they've upstaged Bayelsa Queens from the top. They are standing tall with 13 points. Delta Queens, FC Robo Queens, Sunshine Queens, and you have Abia Angels and also Royal Queens of Warri.
So it's nice to see the Women's League getting a little bit of recognition now. We've actually talked about this, that the women's football has not been given the attention it requires, and that's why when we go to continental tournaments, we actually suffer. So I think now that they're getting the kind of recognition, I hope that they'll be able to get the spotlight on them so that they can have, even if it is not something that is at par, but maybe something close to what the men are actually getting.
Although now they have a sponsor, so at least that shows what the men are also even looking for.
Exactly.
All they've gotten, they too, they have it. They have a sponsor now. And I love the fact that, okay, as we talk about the men's league, we're also referring to the women. So
yes,
side by side, both of them are at least rubbing shoulders.
Exactly, so that we can actually develop the women's league side by side with the men's league. We just can't keep focusing on that because football is dynamic. There's a lots of things to it, you know. Just as we're talking about the men, we should talk about the women, of course, and of course grassroots. Those are things that we really need to look at.
Good one there to let you know, in the men's league 20 goals were scored, while in the women's league 9 goals were scored in all those matches that took place in different stadia across Nigeria. We move international as we look at the Spanish Copa del Rey result. Matches were played, and quickly let's look at the Spanish Copa del Rey, where Rayo Vallecano, they defeated Mallorca by a lone goal, and Cadiz losing at the Mestalla Stadium. It was 2-1 for Valencia. They did well, they are winning 2-1.
Well, it was expected. I mean, like, playing Valencia at the Mestalla is actually quite difficult. It used to be very, very difficult back in the days. Now, not so difficult. And Cadiz actually went there and they thought they had a chance. And they gave a good account of themselves. Unfortunately, they fell short. Well, Valencia showing their class there, just as if they're playing Primera Liga. They just have to, okay, we are just switching the name, exactly. Copa del Rey La Liga. Exactly, yeah. Now, let's go to the World Cup qualifying series that took place in the North and Central American zone. Some results for you quickly. As we look at the teams that did well, USA, Canada, they all played. Well, Mexico versus Panama ended 1-0 in favor of the Mexican L3, as they call them. El Salvador, they lost at home against Canada. Expected, I wasn't expecting El Salvador to defeat Canada anyway. So Jamaica, the Reggae Boys, also lost again. This is the second loss in 2 matches. Costa Rica defeated them by a lone goal. You have USA, they did well against Honduras by scoring 3 goals unstoppable. Yeah, when you look at that region, the first 2 teams that come to your mind are USA, Mexico. You understand, and then every other person comes behind. So right now, I think Canada are the ones that are coming to the fore. It used to be Jamaica, back in the days, because Jamaica used to be on an upward trajectory, but now things are not really as good as they are supposed to be because they lost to Costa Rica at home. So this is Canada now that are coming to the fore, and they have World Cup qualification within grasp. So when you look at that region, it's always Mexico, USA, and then every other person.
But now Canada really, they've made this, they are topping the group ahead of USA as second. You have Mexico following suit in that pecking order down to El Salvador and Honduras. But I love the fact that this time around, Canada, they are not giving up. They believe they can. They want to go to the World Cup, and they are really trying to maintain that leadership. They've been there for a while, and now they've held on to it ahead of USA and L3.
Exactly.
Mexico of all, because when you look at Mexico in the CONCACAF region, Mexico seems to be having an edge over every other team when it comes to men's football.
Exactly. There was a case for them to be moved into the South American part of everything, because the dominance there was actually too much, because you play against teams like Costa Rica, Nicaragua, El Salvador, you understand? Guyana, Papua New Guinea, I think, or something like. Or even
maybe you are from Papua New Guinea.
I'm from Palau, actually.
Seriously, just looking at those fixtures, the result of the World Cup qualifying in the CONCACAF region, North and Central America, Canada topping there, and followed by USA. You have L3 Mexicans. They are really making statement. They want to go to the World Cup. They are always there. In fact, like you said, they just have to push them to South America. Let them go and be dragging with the Brazilians, Bolivians of this world.
Exactly. Maybe they should go there and then test their mettle. You understand? But if they leave, that means the USA will have an easy route whenever they get
okay, before we go, I know you always go to the other country. I know the Nigerians don't love, maybe Egypt versus Cameroon again. Who do you support?
I'll go Cameroon.
You go to Cameroon this time around?
Yes, I'll go.
You're not going to Egypt?
No, I'm not going to Egypt.
I told you I'm from Egypt. Well, that does it on 360 Sports on Trust TV. Well, I've been having good nice time with Ibrahim Yusuf in the studio. Good to have you.
Always a pleasure.
Well, as we always say, that sport is fitness and business. Thanks for watching. I am Adeni Ajishafe.